Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Hypovolemia with Arturio and Emerys. So as promised, this is just a few minutes later, and in fact I have not even exported that video out, so if for some reason my computer crashes while I'm recording this, that episode goes poof in a blinding puff of smoke. So the first thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about this thing here. And I got to admit, this is pretty impressive. I came up with this idea, and this is just kind of my obsessive compulsive nature gone crazy. So this is all a massive, massive mana generation system. And because I've got these hippie dynamos here, it's also a power generation system. So I've started to move the industrial stuff up here, the metallurgic infusers, and I've moved my metal over here. You know, oh, that's where all the rest of that stuff went. Okay. And then up here, I have moved my coal farm. And so I put a sprinkler system up there, so this produces coal. And then over here, I've got this set up to automatically export that coal as, not essence, but actually clumps of coal. And over here, this compacting drawer turns it into blocks of coal. Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to recharge these because I'm going to need them in a minute. Okay, that one's full. And I'm going to see if I have any other. Yeah, I've got a couple other that are not full. You get these as quest rewards. And again, I'm not really sure why, because you can make them very easily. And yeah, you get them as quest rewards, they're full, which is nice, but you know, whatever. All right, so is that, yeah, these three are full, I guess. Yep. I'm just trying to bleed a little out of the system at the moment. Okay, that must be in drain mode. Where is my wand? All right, so now that I have a wand again, we'll just swap that to drain mode, and you can see how quickly it's draining that mana pool. Right, yeah, it's done. Okay, so fairly quickly. All right, so now to demonstrate how this works. I'm gonna grab like 3 stacks. And this was not as much work to set up as you might think, because I kind of had the basic structure already here with the configuration it was in previously. I just kind of knocked down the barriers between them and put the conveyor belts down, and then made a whole bunch more of the floating endo flame. I mean, it took a while. This is a commitment to do something like this. You probably could make smaller versions of it. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be 5 wide, but it's just because of what I had, this is what I did. Now, the idea here is that the conveyor belts will carry the coal around all the way around. So now the problem is every last one of these endoflames is totally full of mana. Its buffer is totally full. The mana spreaders are totally full. Oh, okay. Or maybe not. Ah, okay. So it finally found somewhere that needed some mana. Okay, there we go. So that coal, what was left of it just got consumed. So this very, very quickly fills a mana pool. So that was probably drained down to somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4. And this one, all right, so let's redirect this one over here. Oh, come on. There we go. So this one over here should be filling up slowly. Oops. Let's try that again. So I would have to go and do some math and kind of count. I took what I had to make this and I repositioned them a little bit, and then I had to make some more, but I didn't really keep track of how many. I just kind of went and made like another 20 of them, and then when that wasn't enough, I made like another 20, and then I just kind of kept doing that till I had enough to finish this. So this produces tremendous amounts of mana. There we go. So that coal that I threw in right there made it around one corner and maybe halfway, 3/4 of the way down this channel before it all got consumed. And this one's now full again. And this one will be full shortly. I may throw one more thing of coal in, maybe one in each direction. Let's see how far that one gets. Yep, right there. All right, so I think between the two of them, they've all been fully charged. There's still coal there. So it's now going to go down here, and all of these have already been charged by the one I threw the other direction. There's only a couple left there. And I think when it gets up here and makes this turn, the last little bit of it may disappear. Oh, somebody got it. Okay. Okay. So there's enough mana generation in the system now that it'll fill this one back up. So this is a pretty cool setup, if I do say so myself. And these hippie dynamos, they have to be next to a mana pool to make power. And from what I can tell, it takes very, very little mana to produce power. So this whole system here may be overkill. I don't know. But if you still have to make stuff with your runic altar, if you still need to, you know, make Terra Steel or whatever, if you need to charge your pools, and which I kind of do, if once you fill these full and open your portal, I had to make Alf glass or something. I forget what it was I had to make. It'll stay open for maybe 4 hours, and then it'll kind of cut out on you. Okay, let's try that again. Yep, full. So this is a pretty good system here. Like I said, you may not necessarily want to build one as big as this, but if you have the time and you don't mind the tedious nature of making the mana generating flowers, is definitely worth your time to do it. So now let's talk about some of the other stuff. Eventually, this is where my industrial stuff is going to go, because this should have adequate power for whatever I'm doing. Like these energy cubes, one of them you got as a quest reward, and it was full. The other one I made, and it's taken it a long time to fill, but it did eventually fill. And this thing over here, now I've already done this just to kind of prove that I could, and I went and reset the quest book. And it was by no means an easy feat, but I did it. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to try to kill the spirits of Gaia, or a spirit of Gaia. I've set this up previously, and you know what, there is one thing I'm going to do first. From killing the Wither over and over and over again, I've got like 48 levels, and I don't want to waste that, so we're going to use up some of those real quick. Because there's a pretty good chance I'll die doing this. So let's just get some of those levels. Bane of Arthropods, the world's most awful enchant. Okay. All right, let's get back up there. So I actually tested this, and I can kill the spirit of Gaia. It's just not always kind of a done deal. I actually killed him a few times, and got a bunch of spirits of Gaia, and that was how I updated my mana spreaders down there to Gaia mana spreaders. You take your Elven mana spreaders and you combine them with spirits or Gaia spirits and Dragonstone, and you get the Gaia mana spreaders. And these are just improved versions. So my plan is pretty simple. I'm going to throw this Terrasteel ingot into the beam here, and then I'm going to try to kill him. And the miniature yellow hearts, every time I eat one, should restore 20 health. So, and I'm probably not going to talk a whole lot through this. So just, you know, I may even fast forward it when I record. So let's see how this goes. Okay, I think I killed him. Yeah, I got Spirits of Gaia. Whew, okay. That was a tough fight. Fortunately, there were no witches. Sometimes there are witches, and that's interesting. I went through like nearly a full stack of the yellow hearts. But some of the mobs that were spawned towards the end of the fight, they actually dropped a couple of yellow hearts too. I saw at least 2 of them on the ground. Oh, that's weird. Okay. So it's doable. It's tough, and it's not unusual to die. This chamber here, this is all warded glass. This is my attempt to keep him in. I think I finally got this big enough that he doesn't port out of it. When I tried it earlier, it was a little bit smaller, and he would kept kind of disappearing in the middle of the fight. And I found out later where he was going underneath it. And the Spirit of Gaia has a property. If he lands on any, either a slab or a stair block, he breaks it. So I came down here and, you know, like half of all of these stairs were all broken. I had to replace them all. Oh, yep. He did manage to get out at least once. So, but that's not bad. I only see one broken one. But like the other times that I did this, he destroyed a lot of it. I probably had to replace 20 or 30 tiles. Okay, so that's the Spirit of Gaia. Let's get my quest book. And like I said, I had reset this. Okay, so the killing task, that's complete. And see, that's where you keep getting these other mana tablets. Let me just throw them in here. Where the heck? Okay. So during the course of that fight, I also killed a couple of the kind of boss mobs. So we get a little bit of the Thaumcraft treasure stuff from that. So let's go put that away. And then we'll look at the quest book and kind of see where we are. Gold, iron, diamonds. And then all the standard stuff that drops from killing these mobs. All right, quest book. Britannia. This one wants you to make a Gaia spirit ingot, and which is not that hard to do. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. I actually did do this too. Is it that, or is it that? All right, let's just look it up real quick. Boy, expensive. Yeah, now it wants me to kill the second one, and I did this once, and it's a much harder fight, but I did do it once, so I will spare you that. And surprisingly, it didn't use that much mana. The other thing that I found out is that they don't drop yellow heart, or they don't drop green hearts, which is unfortunate. There's no way to make those. You have to get them as quest rewards. And I'm not sure how many of these are left that give them. Enraged Gaia Spirit. Okay. Because technically I have... Yeah, Gaia Spirit Ingot. I made that, so that's step one. And then this one, you know... You have to kill him over and over and over again. The enraged Gaia spirit, and every time you kill him, where is it? You get these dice, and you take the dice and you roll it, and there's one of 6 things that you get, and these are the 6 things. So you basically have to roll that dice until you get all of these things. And I did test this in creative because I couldn't kill him, the enraged Gaia spirit, over and over and over again enough to get all of these. I killed him once and died like 6 times. But these do various things, like this thing, the Fruit of Grigia. It's basically, all of this stuff I think is a takeoff of Norse mythology. This one is, I guess it's supposed to be Indun's apples, or whatever her name is. But basically it's a golden apple that can't be consumed. Like you eat it and it refills your health, but you don't actually consume it. So it's an eternal apple. And Indun's apples in Norse mythology was supposed to make you immortal if you ate one like every year or something. These rings, by themselves, they're somewhat beneficial, but if you take all 3 of them and combine them, you get the Ring of the Aesir. And once you do that, if you do manage to get all of the green heart canisters, then your heart bar is fully green. But if you get one of those Ring of Aesirs and you put it here, you'll actually get more hearts. They'll turn kind of purplish blue. And so, like if you have all of your green hearts, you basically have 40 health. The Ring of the Aesir will give you 50. So it's nice, but I don't know that it's really kind of worth the effort, because my guess is you'd have to kill the Enraged Spirit of Gaia, I don't know, probably 10, 15 times in order to make sure that you actually get everything that you can get, all 6 of those drops. Now, the normal Spirit of Gaia fight is not that bad. If you've got the yellow heart canisters, you know, you've got a pretty good chance of succeeding. And I've got all of my armor enchanted with like projectile protection, and blast protection. Fire protection, I probably could have put on one of them, but, you know, I'm not sure how much help it would have been, other than when I got to the fight where all of the zombies and skeletons were bursting into flames. It might have helped then, but so if I had potions, it might have been beneficial. But honestly, I set all of these beacons up as full beacons, and I set each one to to different powers. So standing here, I should have had, you know, regeneration at all times. I should have had strength at all times, speed, resistance. Now, these are not the best. There are potions you can take that are better versions of these. Jump boost doesn't really do anything for you, and speed doesn't really do anything for you. But in the middle of the fight, to drink the potions, that can be kind of tough. So that was why I went the miniature heart realm, or the miniature heart route. It's just, you only have so much time in the fight to kind of keep your health up. And, you know, that was how I decided to go. And it sort of works. Like I said, about half the time I succeed, half the time I fail. So anyway, that is the Spirit of Gaia fight and how you do that. I don't know how much more of this I'm going to do. Like, I did kind of test these. And what I found is this one's broken. This one doesn't work. Fawa's head, what it tells you to do this, you go over and do it in the runic altar. You can put the ingredients in there, and it pops up a little head, but it never starts taking mana. Now, I don't know if that means it just takes so much mana that it doesn't look like the bar's filling, but I mean, I let it sit overnight, and it never absorbed any mana. So that's broken, in my opinion. So anyway, that is this episode, and if I remember correctly, this will be episode 29, and you guys probably won't see this for like 2 weeks or so from when I'm filming this, because that's the kind of backlog I have. And the problem is the rest of the stuff in here, I could go do these, like the mechanism ones. Some of these work, some of them don't. They don't take that long to do, but again, if the quest line doesn't lead anywhere, I don't really see why. This digital blood one, I may do that if I want an ME network. This is how you get the ME network. Sanguinomancy is locked. Technomancy, I still don't know what all this stuff is for. I believe this is for interfacing an ME network to your Thaumcraft stuff. That's what I think it's for. I'm not positive. And Thaumcraft, I could probably, like, this quest is broken. You can't do any of the wand quest as far as I know. So I could force that to complete, I guess. Then I would have to force iron. See, I haven't even made these, and this says it's complete. Yeah, these are all broken. The golems are not that hard to make, but some of this other stuff you have to make a great big infusion altar, and I can do that. I've done it before, but you know, these are a pain to make. Silver seeds, yeah. So I just don't see the benefit of doing all this, especially when any day now they're going to do an update that's going to break the quest book. So what I may do, what I'm thinking of doing is doing 1 or 2 more episodes on this, editing them, recording them, and then putting them up on the channel. And then if they do an update to the mod pack, I may do a second season and kind of start over. I haven't decided yet. I'm actually kind of getting burned out a little bit on this. So what'll probably happen is if they do update the quest book sometime in the near future, I'll probably play it a little bit, see how I feel about it, and see if the changes have re-sparked an interest in playing for me. And if so, I'll do a second season. If not, if it just kind of feels like something that I've done over and over again and it doesn't interest me, then I'll probably just kind of call the season there. So anyway, that's today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. If you haven't subscribed, it'd be wonderful if you'd subscribe. And leave your comments and questions on YouTube, and I'll answer them when I can. Thank you for watching. This is Arturio, Emerys signing out.